Welcome to the story's world. Today the story title is Dark Secret. My name is Sam, and this happened to my friends and me when we were 13 years old. Our school was enormous because it included a preschool, elementary, middle, and high school, all within the same campus. Behind the school was an old, abandoned building that hadn't been used in decades. It always seemed eerie to me, especially since our teachers would avoid answering any questions about it. One day, after an early dismissal, my friends Aria, Zoe, Vic, and I decided to explore the building. We were excited, though Vic seemed reluctant. We chalked it up to him being a bit of a rule follower. However, we later discovered his hesitation stemmed from something far more sinister. When we arrived at the entrance, Vic tried to convince us to leave, but we brushed off his concerns and assured him that everything would be fine. We started our exploration on the first floor. It was relatively normal, filled with old furniture, dusty equipment, and forgotten supplies. Vic, however, jumped at every little sound and creaking floorboard, which was a bit annoying, but we just ignored it, hoping he would calm down. As we moved to the second floor, a chill ran down my spine. The atmosphere was heavy, and since the sun had set while we were still on the first floor, the building was now shrouded in darkness. Something strange happened with Vic. He went from being overly jumpy to completely silent. I noticed but didn't think too much of it at the time. We quickly finished searching the second floor, which had fewer rooms, and then rushed out of the building as fast as we could. But as we were heading to the bus stop, Vic suddenly collapsed and began foaming at the mouth. We panicked and tried to wake him up, but fortunately a teacher who was nearby saw us and called for an ambulance. Later in the hospital waiting room, we were finally able to see Vic. He seemed fine, even cheerful. But the teacher shared something that made my heart sink. Apparently, the land our school was built on was once a cemetery for those who passed away in the building, which used to be a hospital. In the late 1970s, the hospital staff began reporting strange occurrences, flickering lights, unexplained bruises, and mysterious noises. Things took a darker turn when the head surgeon, Dr. John, suddenly collapsed, foaming at the mouth, and died without any apparent cause. Despite several autopsies, the doctors couldn't determine why he died. Soon after, the hospital was shut down following the deaths of 8 children who were treated there. They all had hand-shaped marks on their bodies and foamed at the mouth, just like Vic. Vic later told us that he felt like someone was grabbing him when we reached the building and that he blacked out completely by the time we got to the second floor. As he explained this, a terrifying thought crossed my mind. If Vic was unconscious, who or what was controlling his body while we were inside? When I was younger, I had a strange fascination with dark forces. I admired stories about those who claimed to worship them and even joined an online community dedicated to it. One night, while I was asleep, I started coughing and felt a burning sensation in the room. When I opened my eyes, I saw a towering, horned figure with a gaping mouth standing in front of me. The heat was so intense that it blurred my vision. The figure wrapped its hands around me, and I could feel every cell in my body burning. It wasn't a dream. The being spoke to me, saying, "I came because you wanted to see me." It stroked my head, each touch sending waves of pain through me as smoke rose from my skin. The being welcomed me, promising that darkness was more beautiful than light. As it embraced me, I felt a twisted mix of pain and pleasure, and then I woke up. It was 5 a.m., and my body felt like it was burning from the inside. I ran to the nearest place of worship, even though I had never been there before. When I shared my experience, the priest told me it seemed like I had attracted something dark. He prayed for me, which calmed me down, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister was still with me. That night, when I opened my bedroom door, I found myself in an endless landscape of molten lava. The air was toxic, making it hard to breathe, and I could hear the screams of countless people. Giant, demonic figures charged at me with maces, and as I fought back, they seemed to enjoy it, making me feel helpless. Then I remembered the prayer the priest had taught me and began reciting it. As I did, the demons' bodies cracked, and light burst from within them, causing them to scream in agony before crumbling into ashes. When I woke up, I posted my experience online, and to my surprise, others in the community praised me for meeting the beings. But I was horrified and immediately left the group. From that day on, I hung a cross in my room and prayed every night, avoiding anything related to dark forces. The demons never appeared to me again, but occasionally I still smell the burnt smoke and ash in my room. Whenever it happens, I pray, and the smell slowly fades. But I know they're still out there, waiting, and I'm afraid they'll never truly leave me.